afternoon, Rick. So, straight away from last night's result, 5-0 win at home against AFC Liverpool. Do you feel like that's been coming?
Well, it has in some respects. I mean, we scored 5 away from home, but let 2 in. But, no, I mean, it has been coming in terms of the 13 games. We have looked like burying sides at times in the first half, and then capitulated into draws or the odd last-minute defeat or equaliser. But we're a bit more measured last night, 1-0 at half-time. But, yeah, they were excellent all the way through, and it was deserved 5-0, without a doubt.
And a big clean sheet as well to go with it. I know, obviously in a game like last night, the forwards get a lot of the plaudits, but the back line and Adam, really strong performance.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. We said about these hybrid teams, I call them, where they've got players that you don't really know what position they are. Are they a winger? Are they a forward? And they did what the other team, Earlham, did. They crashed it over the top down our left full-back. So that's their plan. And we didn't quite get to grips with it at first. But, I mean, having said that, we did, because Callum Sherry was brilliant where he went across, read it like, a huge praying mantis and cleared it. And that sort of set the precedent for everyone looking after each other across that back line. And that was like a game-changing defensive piece of work for me, where he just read the situation and dealt with it. And then we gradually took control. I mean, they were had a few of those skirmishes early on, which we dealt with. But yeah, that's what we've been looking for as well, a clean sheet. And it was, the home win at last, clean sheet, and smack some good goals in. It was just what we wanted.
And just on that, later on you had to check out Sam Baines and Josh come in. He started, got man of the match off for sponsors as well. Josh, he sort of really grew into the game pretty quickly. Like you said, he targeted down that left side early on, but he really grew into it and established himself quite well as the game wore on.
Yeah, he's excellent, Josh. And, it's very difficult to deal with a very well-placed ball over the top. We've got to all understand that. I mean, the channel ball played with backspin is a hell of a ball to deal with, but he got to grips with it. But his general composure at left back is great. So we were unfortunate to lose Sam, who's he's a ubiquitous player. Sam as well. He's left back, left centre half, midfielder. But we couldn't risk a hamstring. We've been getting a few hamsters recently, so we just got to not risk him, because they do take a while to settle down. It's a few weeks. So I put Josh in, and the whole back four were absolutely different class. I mean, those two centre halves doing the Mario Kempes impression, both of them, can't fault them. That must be a thing down in Russian, grow your hair long and be a legend in the back four. So the back four were great, full of praise from Adam as well, safe. So, and his kicking improved. I mean, we had a little word about best place to kick it even during the first half. You've got to be a bit of a golfer, work it out, backspin, side spin, where the wind's going, but did well. And then carrying on with my eulogy of praise, I mean, the two in the middle were fantastic as well. Kyle all over the place, with his running. The same with Dino, with that, his trickery and his guile, moving the ball around. Two wide men. I mean, Boothie helped Josh out early on, getting sat in a little bit for him. And then the two lads up top, Iggy, who's nursing a bit of a knee, with Big Sean. They'll form well in time. And Steve gives you what he does, a very immaculate performance. So right across the 11, they were superb and totally dominated the game in the second half. I mean, it just blew them away. Very pleased with them.
Especially in recent weeks, Steve's been very much sort of a provider for the front line. But how good is it for you to see, as a winger for yourself, to see him getting his own goal while also contributing to the team across that and getting assists throughout as well?
That's right. I mean, we always said the two wingers should add up to a centre forward's goal contribution. So I was looking to average about 8 goals a season, and the other winger do the same. So you're getting up to like 16 goals from your wingers. That's what you need. So you should be coming in the back stick and acting as a third centre forward. And take your opportunities to shoot when you can, but your main job is to provide. But it's great. I mean, I don't just love wingers because I'm a winger. I've always admired wingers, right across the board from when I was a kid. I designed playing centre forward. I did a bit centre mid, but wingers they're the maverick characters, and they do provide. I mean, and it's great to have that ammunition. And he had something to aim at, his old university chum. I don't know what they were studying at university, I dread to think, but they were together there, so they know each other, Sean and Steve, so he's got a nice big target to aim at now as well.
We'll just combine a couple of things there with Sean coming in. Obviously, first time he's played for us in, I think it must be a good 18 months, maybe up to 2 years, and he's come in and gone straight into the team last night and done really well, got himself about and linked up quite well early doors with the lads, but also the wider squad that you now sort of developed over the past few weeks and continue to sort of do into the season. We seem to have more options across in different positions.
Well, yeah, if we can stop getting injured and ill, we're going to have a decent squad, and it'll give me a few little selection dilemmas, get it out, put my teeth back in. So that's all good. But he is an absolute handful. I mean, when I was helping Ertie out down at Ayr, I mean, we used him as just a lethal weapon, getting on the end of things or throwing things. I mean, he threw that throwing in first half, and you could see the shock on the opposition's faces, and their bench were just absolutely awestruck. Well, our lads were, they couldn't believe it. And so he's not just, he's not just a target. He can create with things like that. And then there was one corner when I think 4 of their players ended up on the floor, all on the back like dying flies, and they're all moaning up like hell. And it's that mayhem. They can't deal with it. But we haven't seen the best of him in that game because he wasn't match fit, and he's got a hell of a strike on him, and he scores lots of goals. And it's obviously what I'm looking for, to start knocking these teams about a bit, And if we do it often enough, the more crosses we put in, the more melees and skirmishes we have, the referee and linesman can't constantly have sympathy for the opposition rolling about. So eventually they'll let things go, and that's what happened. So it's a law of averages. They'll capitulate like they didn't. They couldn't handle it second half, some of the stuff that went in the box. And particularly for that Higgy's other goal,
Well, got Higgy's goal, but also the penalty. We saw Carl take the ball up and go and place it down, and we were going, well, this is interesting. Carl, who had his first goal for the club, how was that decision that you made that got a penalty? It was Carl this week?
Absolutely not to do with me. I mean, I had a tooth out on one of my Neanderthal teeth taken out with a pickaxe, the way it fell on Wednesday. So most of the game I was nursing a toothache, and I was like battling with that. And when he put the ball on the penalty spot, that's when my toothache disappeared, oddly enough. I suddenly concentrated, and I thought, oh, right, okay, well, good luck to you, lad. And smashed it away. Well, he sort of smashed it a bit like, a well-struck, timed sort of placement. He didn't smash it. And I thought, well done, great. And they tell me that's his first goal, so credit to him. Nothing. I don't take any credit for that. It's him and the lads.
Oh, that's good to see. And overall, I know you've always got something to say about the officials. How did you feel the game went last night, especially the mass incident at the end, which is going to end up with an interesting process going forward, because I can us appealing a decision that was given against us there. How did you feel that all went?
I mean, when you assess the game, there weren't dirty challenges going on all match. It was played in general good spirit. They had a bit of a moan up at times, so did we, but there was nothing in it. But there was, I think, they were frustrated at the end, being 4-0 down. When there was nothing wrong with the goal, by the way, that we scored, that Steve scored, because the lads are adamant that they'd had, came off their lad last.
The offside one, which we'll put the highlights up of that.
Yeah.
We couldn't work that one out ourselves.
Yeah, but they were frustrated. So there's a tackle gone in on Joe. We put him on for some energy. He did great. Well, all the lads, were little contributions I'm pleased with as well. And we thought the lad sort of knelt into Joe, and then we shouldn't have run over and got involved, because it did kick off into a melee. But, it was the linesman on the far side that said that there was some fisticuffs going on or a deliberate elbow. But when you look at the video, apparently, Charlie's just been shoved with someone's momentum into the lad. So we will appeal it, because it was not anyway an intentional bit of malice from him. So thankfully we have got it on video. I mean, the officials, they still wind me up, because they're all on about rules are rules, and we're getting this thrown at us all the time. Apparently we're getting fined for admin faults and stuff like this by the league, and yet I end up doing the bag, and they haven't got provision to change me to doing the video bag, and it has to stay with Dave Cherry on the thing. And I said, well, you've got to change that. And Denzel said, well, we can't, the league format won't allow it. So when they make mistakes, it's just brushed over. On to referees and linesmen, yes, they make mistakes, of course they do, and we have to accept that. When we make a mistake, lads, mistime something, it's like booking for stuff like that, we accept that as well. But when he's getting things wrong so much, like the ball's played over, Al Maitland is between the player and the ball, running into our corner, clearly gets shoved, right? So their player's nowhere near a chance of winning the ball, gets shoved in the back, makes Al stumble and touch it out for a corner. And we were all saying, well, that's a free kick. No, it isn't. It was a coming together. Well, he don't know the rules, the ref. And when I challenged him about it, he said it's opinions. Well, we know what Clint Eastwood said about opinions. Opinions are like, and everyone's got one. And I said to him, my opinions have been not opinions. I said it's fact over 47 years or whatever I've been involved in football. A coming together when the ball's equal chance of you both winning it and you shoulder charge each other. Don't you know the rules? So he's not applying the rules. And it went on all game, these little off-the-ball nudges and stuff, and that's what winds people up. And that sort of thing does contribute to little bits of frustration. No excuse for the lads wading into each other at the end. I'm not going to blame the ref or the linesman for that at all. I don't think, they don't warrant any criticism from that. Apart from maybe jumping to conclusion who started it and what have you. But I just get frustrated that they, any intervention, if I dread touching the ball now, can't do a bit of comedy first touch on the on the dugout if the ball comes flying towards me. I can't do a bit of skill, because I might mess it up every chance and it flies into the stand and I'll get sent off. So where's this sort of stuff come from? So I'm annoyed at them, and I think I was writing my programme notes to say that it's erratic. But anyway, I'm not going to let that tarnish a good day, because it was, I had a long day with helping the Peel Combi out with a debacle game for the Combi, losing 5-7 to Corinthians, and then Peel, obviously, which I've got massive loyalty to, sneak to win, shall we say. I haven't heard from a certain radio presenter yet, and then to top it all, the icing on the cake, we come up with our first home win. So I'm absolutely delighted. I'm away to Leeds for a few days, and with no coaches available, so we'll give the lads a day off Monday, let them, should sleep well, eat well, rest up, have a few days off, and we'll train on Wednesday and find out if we're going to go to sunny Glossop on the following Saturday.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that one, because we've all seen the weather forecast for the coming days, so we'll see what ends up with that.
Well, yeah, up there, if it snows anywhere first, it snows up in Glossop. We do know that one. So we just can't tell that there is a snow due on Wednesday. But I'm looking now. I've looked at the league for the first time in a while, and I've got a few teams in my sights now. If we can get a couple more wins, we're 20 games to go, so we should achieve a couple more wins. And we can keep people fit and start to build on that performance. We should creep up, and I'm looking to overtake a few more and get up that table. So credit to everyone and everyone, the staff and the players for that performance, and it was a delight to be involved in it.
Well, just to finish on that, I suppose, we don't know if we're going to play next week. At the minute, we're scheduled to play away, but just in case we don't, if this is sort of like our last thing before Christmas, is that your message going in for Christmas? Is we're not looking down anymore, we're looking up, and we're pulling ourselves away from trouble and heading upwards?
Yeah, that's got to be your positive thoughts. I mean, I've tried to come in and work on people's positive things. There's no point going in and saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. What can we do? And I quickly worked out what they can do, and that's finding the positions to play in. Training's been excellent to be involved with, and making them do, practice makes perfect, and we're doing lots and lots of that. And I do feel it's a happy place, so keep things positive. And yeah, you're right. I don't want to be worried about, getting a point here and getting a point there. We want to go out and play some decent football. I mean, some of those goals were great. I want to mention that. I mean, they were really good goals. Topped off at the end by a fantastic goal from Dino, and that's another thing they've been working on. And we might put half a dozen into the field down at Castletown like that, but, the ball's gone wide. He's come back in, a nice little pass, bang, top corner. Great stuff. So, all positive. So, yeah, I mean, and the way we played against Earlham, we were at 6 in the league, and other teams where we've, got these draws and stuff and won away from them, we shouldn't really fear anyone. They should be fearing us. And we go out with that positive attitude. It's not job done by a long way. We've got a long way to go to improve things. But very satisfied with everything. And final note to the fans, and thanks for all the support. I mean, thanks to Pete giving me lifts home in his van and stuff. Really appreciate all that. And if we don't talk again, I wish everyone a happy Christmas, and keep supporting the Ravens and the Owls and the Peacocks and the Peel, of course. And good luck to everyone, and I hope everyone has a happy Christmas and a swell New Year. So we'll leave it on that.
Absolutely brilliant. Cheers, Rick. And we've
got cheers, Sam.
5 minutes to kick off, so I'll leave you to go and watch Leeds.
Yeah. Oh, we've got to be hiding me at settee again, no doubt.
Great. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, buddy. Ciao.